Hey everybody, it's Mom of Two, Wife of One. As you can see from the description below, we have reached Decision Day for Married at First Sight Season 13. I'm so grateful that the season is over. We've had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of highs and lows, and so let's get to it. I'm not going to take up too much of your time today because we have reached the end, people. So I'm going to start. Rachel and Jose said yes. Duh, I knew that they would. That was a no-brainer. They didn't even talk about much. The segment was actually pretty short. They didn't talk about much. They said yes. Great, yay. Marilyn and Gil said yes. I knew that they would. Not surprised at all. I think they genuinely like and respect each other. And I think they just genuinely like each other in general. Yeah, they like and love each other. Like, they really do. And I think that they are an example of what the show was designed for. Two people who want to be married, who don't have any clue at all about how much they're going to grow as individuals through this process. They don't have any clue about what kind of revelations they're going to get about their own shortcomings. And I think it's always been refreshing to see them week after week really fall into this routine of being married and this routine of learning about themselves and learning about their spouse. So I really like them together. Hated Marilyn's eye makeup. Loved her boots though. Her little red bottom high heel boots. I was like, you better, okay, get it, Marilyn. Also loved Brett's dress. I'm going to go to Brett and Ryan next. Love Brett's dress. Have always loved Brett. Obviously, they didn't say it together. That was a no-brainer. I love that the experts, especially Dr. Viviana and Dr. Pepper, were really like calling him on his stuff. Dr. Pepper asked him outright, like, I respect you, but why did you think it was okay to get on a dating app while you were still married? Asked him point blank, and it felt like he never gave a valid reason. He just kept saying, I'm sorry this happened, and I hate that she was hurt in the process. And Dr. Viviana called him on, and she's like, what do you mean you're sorry it happened? It didn't happen. You did it. Like, you made the decision to make this happen. It wasn't like an accident or something like that. And he never really held himself accountable. And when they said, no, I want a divorce, he was more emotional than she was. And I was a little, like, perturbed by that. Because first my mother thought, her rationale, that she thought Ryan was upset that Brett had said no, basically. And kind of upset that, I don't know, that he was just upset that, she said no, and I'm upset that he hurt her feelings, I guess. I think that man was upset because he didn't want to fail at this. He said he's always wanted to be married, always wanted to have kids. And granted, you're 35, you're not 85, you still have time to find that person. But I think he was really counting on this being his only time being married. So I think that's why he was emotional. But it also upset me because he kind of went back to whatever his type is and basically like, of course I'm 35, of course I have a type. But like Dr. Pepper said, you have a type and you probably have been with your type, but you've never had any meaningful relationships with your type. And again, and I said this to people before, when you get on this show, it's not about getting what you've always wanted. It's about getting what you may not have known that you need. And sometimes what you like and what you're attracted to may not line up with what you need. Brett was what you needed. And you couldn't see past your own superficial blonde hair, blue-eyed fantasy to really appreciate what she was bringing to the table and really appreciate what she could possibly add to your life. So I don't have any sympathy for him in the situation. Having a type is all well and good, but if there's no substance there, then what's the point? So he's whatever. Bao and Johnny, I predicted that if Johnny was asked first that he would say no, and then Bao would say no. They asked Johnny first and he said yes, which I was very confused about. But I think what happened was a couple different things. When they started their segment, Dr. Pepper asked them both point blank, tell me some of the best parts of your marriage. And I think that was a very important question for her to ask because Johnny has spent so much time over the past few weeks thinking about all the negative things about Bao, the things he doesn't like that she says and does and how she acts and blah, 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 blah. It's been all of the bad things, but she's this evil, like, cartoon villain in his eyes. So I like that he had to actually think and reflect of all the things he actually liked about her and things that he liked about their relationship. So I think he said yes because he had those happy thoughts in the forefront of his mind. And he also apologized to her for talking to Sarah, her best friend, about their relationship. And he was like, I understand now that there were some boundaries there that I crossed that I didn't appreciate or respect, and I apologize for that. But I also thought he said yes because he was like, I'm going to say yes because, what's the worst that could happen? What could it hurt to say yes? I don't think that's a good reason to say yes. You're not saying yes to trying a new food, or yes to traveling to a new country, or yes to starting a company. You're saying yes to a marriage. And I don't think that's a valid reason to say yes to spending the rest of your life with somebody. You say yes because you genuinely see the good in the relationship. You say yes because you genuinely see the good in the spouse. You say yes because you legitimately see a future with this person. If none of those are the case, then you should not be saying yes. Bao said no, which shocked me. I definitely didn't think they were going to make it. I just didn't think Bao would be the one to say no. But what she said was, I came into the situation looking for love, commitment, trust. I got none of those things. And it's like point blank, that's all. That's all you need to say. So I appreciated that honesty. And she also said in her talking head, like, you haven't tried in 3 weeks. So what's going to be different now the camera's gone? I don't trust that he's going to put it forth an effort now. I was like, you know what? I like that. Oh, and Pastor Carl said this great thing to Johnny. He said, I hope you realize that all the things you had in your past relationships, and we use that term loosely because he went on like 100 first dates, didn't really have a meaningful relationship for a really long time. But Pascal was like, all the things you brought over from that relationship, you brought over into this marriage. Basically, your ability to focus on the negative, to create red flags when maybe there aren't red flags, and your ability to run away. Now, in his mind, I never ran away from this. And Bal was like, no, I think you kind of ran from the beginning. You constantly went back to your apartment. You constantly put up walls. You constantly put her down. There's another segment that they did that pissed me off. Oh, also, Bao looked amazing in her red dress and her red lip. Was killing it. But she talked about, and I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, she talked about how sometimes when they had an argument, she felt like she lost her voice. She wasn't comfortable speaking up for herself or saying certain things because she thought it would escalate the argument and it would turn into yelling or whatever, and she didn't want that to happen. Which I said, his thing, which led me to believe he completely missed the point. He was like, I know, but I don't know why you didn't feel comfortable because I never raised my voice past this level and I never did this or whatever. Like, you should have been straight. In his mind, the acceleration of an argument happens when you raise your voice. Now, granted, that's a no-no. I know I've been married for 8 years. My husband knows, yes, we'll have arguments or disagreements or whatever. You will not raise your voice to me, as I will never raise my voice to you. You are not my child, and I'm not your child. So I will never talk to you. We don't talk to each other at all, like we're each other's children. So we don't raise voice. We keep it even killed. We may get upset and pissed off, but I'm not going to yell at you. You're not going to yell at me. However, there's more than one way to make an argument accelerate or to make it so that the person feels like they can't say anything. You can be even killed all you want. But if you tell somebody to their face, you just don't like them. You don't want your family around them. You've never been attracted to them. You wish you were married to anybody but them. You say all those things to her, Johnny, which you have said to Bao to her face. Saying all of those things may not be you yelling and screaming, but that's enough to break a person's spirit. So of course she's not going to feel like she can speak out and say anything to you because in her mind, like you made her feel this small. So of course she's not going to say anything to her defense because she knows that you've already made up in your mind the kind of person she is. So no matter what she says, she's not going to change your mind. You're not really going to hear anything she says because you'll take it as an excuse and you'll take it as her not holding herself accountable. So she's like, what's the point? So I knew they weren't going to make it. I'm very happy that the story is over because it was getting torturous for a long time. Now Zach and Michaela. So I don't even know where to start with them. Okay, my prediction was that if Michaela was asked first, she would say yes. So I was right. She did say yes. They talked about the things I like about their marriage. She said that good or bad, I wouldn't take any second back. I feel like I've learned so much and grown so much from this experience regardless. And she also was the only one when they were doing their private interviews before decision day. She's the only one that was saying, I'm completely confident in my decision. I'm not nervous at all. I know what I'm going to say. Like, I'm good. And when they talked about things that they liked, Zach pulled out a piece of paper and he began to gush about Michaela. She's so wonderful. She is so sweet. She is so caring. She's the most amazing person, most amazing woman I know outside of my mother. She's this great person. She must love me to put up with all the stuff. To continue to show up after what we've been through, she must love me. I love you too, Michaela. She's great. She's wonderful. I'm just so lucky. I can't believe I'm crying. You guys gave me exactly what I wanted. Like, I remember sitting with you and telling what I wanted in a wife, and you actually gave me that. Like, I can't believe it. All of that to tell us that he wants a divorce. Why'd you waste our time, Zach? Why? You wasted my time. You wasted the expert's time. You darn sure wasted Michaela's time. Why are we here? Why? What was the point of this? And he was so frustrated that no one understood what he was saying. In his mind, I want a divorce, but I want to see where this goes. Those two things don't coexist. Those two concepts don't coexist. If you want a divorce, where it's going is to court, and you guys are going to sign papers, and you will not be married anymore. That's the only place that it goes. Normally, when you say, we'll see where this goes, that means, we'll continue to date and see what happens. So you want to divorce me so you can date me? And like Pastor Kyle said, you could have just said, I want to stay married. Because other things Zach said that was dumb. Well, no, it's not that I want a divorce. I just want a divorce the last 8 weeks. What? All the experts were like, huh? No one understood what he was saying. And it's interesting because there was a clip a couple weeks ago when all the couples were together, and Zach said something similar about how, no is not necessarily definitive. No could mean no right now, but I want to date you later, and blah, 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 blah. And everyone was like, I don't understand. No means no. No means divorce. Mikhail came to his defense like, I didn't understand it either, but then he and I talked about it, and I understand where he's coming from. That's what she said in that scenario. But when it got to decision day, she was like, okay, you said no. She's like, okay, you've made your decision. And then in her talking head, she's like, what does he think? We're going to, divorce and then we're going to date? That's stupid. I'm not doing that. Those are her exact words. The experts were all confused as well. Like, what is he talking about? But they were like, no, Zach, it's yes or no. No, you want a divorce, right? He's like, yeah, I want a divorce. Like, okay. So Michaela's like, that's stupid to basically say, let's see where we're going to go. Like, let's date after we get a divorce. That's dumb. I'm not doing that. Her exact words, I'm not doing that. Cut to the next day. People are packing up. They're getting ready to move back home or whatever. And they're doing their little videos. And Michaela's like, where Zach and I are right now, we're going to work through this and we'll see what happens. We're going to basically flip-flopping from what she said not 24 hours before. But just like, we're going to figure it out. We're going to work on it. I'm still here. And it's like, why are you still here, though? He said, no. I don't understand why you're still showing up. I just don't get it. And then, of course, all the people got together because this is what they do this season is that every episode, let's have all 10 people get together just for the heck of it. I never understood why they did that at the end of Decision Day. I feel like that's so awkward to sit right next to the person that you just told 48 hours ago that I don't want to stay married to you anymore. I also thought that was kind of weird. Why can't all the girls get together and all the guys get together? You can still dish about who said yes and who said no. But I don't know if I like them all being together like that. I just think that's weird. But regardless, they all get together and they're talking about who said yes on Decision Day, who's getting a divorce. They get to Zach and Michaela. And this is why I love Brett. They get to Zach and Michaela. And Michaela, what she's been doing pretty much all season, she's very protective of Zach. She just says her piece. I said yes because I wanted to stay married. That's all she said. She didn't say Zach said no. She didn't say Zach has this warped idea, blah, blah, blah. She just said, well, I said yes because I want to stay married. Left it at that. And Zach is like, well, I know my thing wasn't interpreted right, but, I know what I meant, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I'm glad you know what you meant because the rest of us do not. And even Bao was like, no, you said no, you wanted to, but she didn't say anything. She said it in her talking head. Everybody's confused about what he said. But Michaela, again, she was like, well, you know what? It may not make sense to other people, but as long as we're good and we understand, that's kind of all that matters. And this is why I love Brett. Brett jumped in and was like, you know what, Michaela, you're right. She was like, I see you're smiling. I see that you're happy. And as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter that the rest of us have whiplash because we don't know what's going on. It doesn't matter. Basically speaking, for the entire table, we don't get it at all. All of us are very confused. We're like, what? None of us get it. I'm going to speak for the entire table when I tell you, Michaela, that none of us understand what the heck your husband just said. However, you look happy. That's all that matters. And I was like, that's something I would say. It really endeared me to Brett. But another thing that irks me every season, when all 10 people get together at the end after decision day, there's always someone that's like, you know what? This bond we have is special. I'm so glad we went through this. I'm glad I found my friends and I found some new friends, and this is great because no one can understand what we've been through. And we're just going to have this bond forever. So no one can understand what you've been through. You do know this is season 13, right? So you know there are 12 other seasons with countless other couples who went through the exact same thing that you guys have gone through. You know that, right? But whatever, let's discount those 12 seasons. That's not important. We're the real season. Like, y'all just stupid. But that's the end of Married at First Sight, guys. You guys have been rolling with me for over 4 months. Thank you. Thank you for every like, every share, every single comment. You guys have slid into my DMs to talk about this show, and I am so appreciative, guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you again for commenting with me. I love talking to you guys about the show, and even if we have differing opinions, it's all respect and it's all love. I appreciate you guys. So thank you so much. I hope you guys will remain subscribers of my channel, because even though I won't be doing Married at First Sight again until the new season starts, I'll still have other videos every once in a while with my babies or with me giving tips or pointers on things. So definitely stay tuned for those things. But I hope you guys have an amazing day, week, experience. Peace.